Oakland Athletics jokes, MLB jokes. Q. What is the difference between Brett Anderson and bowling icon Walter Ray Williams, Jr.? A. Walter Ray Williams, Jr. knows how to throw a strike. Q. Why did the post office recall their latest stamps? A. They had pictures of athletics players on them and people couldn't figure out which side to spit on. Q. Why do people like driving a car with the athletics fan? A. Because you can park in the handicap zone. Q. What do you get when you combine all 40 Oakland Athletics with 40 lesbians? A. 80 people that don't do dick. Q. Why are the Oakland Athletics starting pitchers like orphans? A. Because they don't know where home is. Q. What's the difference between dirt and the Oakland Athletics? A. Nothing, they both always get swept. Q. What is the difference between a Oakland Athletics fan and a pothole? A. I would swerve to avoid the pothole. Q. What song do Oakland Athletics fans sing before the bottom of the ninth inning? A. Nobody knows. There's never any of them left. Q. What's the difference between the Oakland Athletics and a mosquito? A. A mosquito stops sucking. Q. What do the Oakland Athletics and possums have in common? A. Both play dead at home and get killed on the road. Q. What is the difference between an athletics fan and a baby? A. The baby will stop whining after a while. Q. What do the Oakland Athletics and lawn furniture have in common? A. They both fold and end up in the cellar after Labor Day. Q. Did you hear the Oakland Athletics are moving to the Philippines? A. They are going to be called the Manila Folders. Q. What do I have in common with the Oakland Athletics? A. Next week, we'll both be watching the World Series on television. Q. What do Oakland Athletics fans and sperm have in common? A. 1 in 3 million has a chance of becoming a human being. Q. How many Oakland Athletics does it take to change a tire? A. 1, unless it's a blowout, in which case they all show up. Q. What do you call 40 millionaires around a TV watching the World Series? A. The Oakland Athletics. Q. How can you tell if a athletics fan just sent you a fax? A. There's a stamp on it. Q. What do the Oakland Athletics and Billy Graham have in common? A. They both can make 40,000 people stand up and yell Jesus Christ. Q. What is the difference between a bucket of shit and an Oakland Athletics fan? A. The bucket. Q. If you have a car containing a athletics shortstop, a athletics catcher, and a athletics outfielder, who is driving the car? A. The cop. Q. How do you castrate an Oakland Athletics fan? A. Kick his sister in the mouth. Q. What should you do if you find 3 Oakland Athletics baseball fans buried up to their neck in cement? A. Get more cement. Q. What's the difference between an Oakland Athletics fan and a carp? A. One is a bottom-feeding scum sucker, and the other is a fish. Q. How did the Oakland Athletics fan die from drinking milk? A. The cow fell on him. Q. What does an Oakland Athletics fan do when his team has won the World Series? A. He turns off the PlayStation 3. Q. How many Oakland Athletics fans does it take to change a light bulb? A. None. Lava lamps don't burn out, man. Q. What does a Oakland Athletics fan and a bottle of beer have in common? A. They're both empty from the neck up. Q. Why do Oakland Athletics fans keep their season tickets on their dashboards? A. So they can park in handicap spaces. Q. How do the Athletics spend the first week of training camp? A. Studying the Miranda rights. Q. How do you keep a Athletics fan from masturbating? A. You paint his dick New York blue and white and he won't beat it for 4 years. Q. Why do ducks fly over the Colosseum upside down? A. There's nothing worth craping on. Q. Why doesn't Sacramento have a professional baseball team? A. Because then Oakland would want one. Q. Did you hear that Oakland's baseball team doesn't have a website? A. They can't string three Ws together. Q. What do you call an Oakland Athletic in the World Series? A. An umpire. Q. What's the difference between a Coliseum hot dog and a Yankee Stadium hot dog? A. You can buy a Citizens Bank Park hot dog in October. Q. Why did BP hire the Oakland Athletics to clean up the Gulf oil spill? A. Because they'll go out there and throw in the towel. Q. What's the difference between a dead dog in the road and a dead Oakland Athletics fan in the road? A. There are skid marks in front of the dog. Q. What is a Oakland Athletics fan's favorite wine? A. We can't beat Texas. Q. How do you stop an Oakland Athletics fan from beating his wife? A. Dress her in New York blue and white. Q. What do Athletics fans use for birth control? A. Their personalities. Q. How do you make a Athletics fan laugh on Monday? A. Tell him a joke on Friday. Q. You're trapped in a room with a lion, a rattlesnake, and a Athletics fan. You have a gun with 2 bullets. What should you do? A. Shoot the Athletics fan twice. Q. What do you call a Athletics player with a World Series ring? A. A thief. Q. Why can't the Oakland Athletics use the internet? A. Because they can't get 3 Ws in a row. Q. What do Michael Jackson and the Oakland Athletics infielders have in common? A. They both wear one glove for no apparent reason. Q. What does the Oakland Athletics manager and Alex Trebek have in common? A. Both of their jobs are in jeopardy. Q. Why is Halloween the Oakland Athletics' favorite holiday? A. It's the only thing in October they have to look forward to. Q. Why do all the trees in California lean towards Oakland? A. It's because the Athletics suck. Q. What is the difference between a cactus and the Athletics dugout? A. On a cactus the pricks are on the outside. Dear Athletics fans, rather than wasting money on a replica hat, just strap a large rubber dildo to your head. Everyone will know who you support. Police in Oakland responded to a call of a vehicle break-in. The owner of the vehicle said he 2 tickets to an Athletics game on his dash and someone busted his window and left 2 more Athletics tickets. Reckless driver. A Athletics fan liked to amuse himself by scaring every Yankees fan he saw strutting down the street in an obnoxious New York pinstripe shirt. He would swerve his van as if to hit them, then swerve back just missing them. One day while driving along, he saw a priest. He thought he would do a good deed, so he pulled over and asked the priest, "Where are you going?" "Father, I'm going to give Mass at St. Francis Church, about 2 miles down the road," replied the priest. "Climb in, Father. I'll give you a lift." The priest climbed into the passenger seat, and they continued down the road. Suddenly, the driver saw a Yankees fan walking down the road, and he instinctively swerved as if to hit him. But, as usual, he swerved back onto the road just in time. Even though he was certain that he had missed the guy, he still heard a loud thud. Not knowing where the noise came from, he glanced in his mirrors but still didn't see anything. He then remembered the priest, and he turned to the priest and said, "Sorry, Father, I almost hit that Yankees fan." "That's okay," replied the priest, "I got him with the door better at sex." There were 2 men, one was an Athletics fan and the other was a Yankees fan. These men were both madly in love with the same woman. So the woman challenged that whichever man does a better job at having sex with her would be her boyfriend. Both men accepted the challenge. That night, the woman had sex with the Athletics fan and then the other Knight had sex with the Yankees fan. The next day the woman chose the Yankees fan to be her boyfriend. Shocked and outraged, the Athletics fan asked why she didn't choose him. She replied by saying, "You, like your team, not only come up short but always finish early." Career Day. It's career day in elementary school where each student talks about what their dad does. Little Johnny is last, and finally the teacher calls on him to talk about his dad. Johnny comes to the front of the class. "My daddy is a dancer at a gay bar. He takes off his clothes for other men, and if they pay him enough money, he goes into the alley and performs sex acts on them." The teacher is shocked, and she calls for an early recess for the rest of the class. She sits down with Johnny and asks him if this is really true about his dad. Johnny says, "No, but I was too embarrassed to say he played for the Oakland Athletics." First grade. A first grade teacher explains to her class that she is a Oakland Athletics fan. She asks her students to raise their hands if they were Athletics fans, too. Not really knowing what a Athletics fan was, but wanting to be like their teacher, hands explode into the air. There is, however, one exception. A girl named Mary has not gone along with the crowd. The teacher asks her why she has decided to be different. "Because I'm not a Athletics fan." Then, asks the teacher, "What are you?" "Why, I'm proud to be a New York Yankees fan," boasts the little girl. The teacher is a little perturbed now, her face slightly red. She asks Mary why she is a Yankees fan. "Well, my dad and mom are Yankees fans, and I'm a Yankees fan, too." The teacher is now angry. "That's no reason," she says loudly. "What if your mom was a moron, and your dad was a moron, what would you be then?" A pause, and a smile. "Then," says Mary, "I'd be a Athletics fan." Father and son. A father and son are outside the Coliseum, and the young son is asking his father to buy him a Rangers suck t-shirt. The father hesitates, but finally tells his son, "You can have the shirt if you promise never to say that word." "That's right," says the t-shirt vendor, wanting to make the sale. "Suck isn't a very nice word." "No," replies the father. "I meant the word Rangers."